guys. We're jumping right in. We're going right back. We are going right back to Amy Bradley. And it's been a little bit. We all know that my old account was hacked. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to jump right into Amy Bradley. Why wait, right? Why wait? At this point, we're going to move on. What's up, Grace? We're going to move on. What's up, Whitney? We are ready to talk more about Amy Bradley. So one big thing. A lot of people always ask, is there any new information? Is there anything new? What's up, Linda? It's a wonderful question. I don't know. Hey, Josie. It's hard for me to answer. Is there anything new? What's up, Jeremy? It's so new that it almost comes off like, I don't know how to explain it. It's so, like there's really nothing new coming out right now about the Amy Bradley disappearance. However, what we are learning is we're starting to connect some dots. So as we get more and more people on here, as you guys keep sharing and tapping, which I love seeing it. As we start to connect some of these dots, it's starting to make some sense. And it's also starting to bring us to a point where we're starting to really focus on the path to take. I've said this many times before, right, in previous lives. We can't just listen to one view. We have to listen to multiple views. We can't listen to one narrative. We have to listen to all of them because some of them are going to seem very far-fetched. Some of them are going to seem like they make sense. And some of them are going to seem like they don't make any sense at all. That's the truth. You know what I mean? Hey, Megan. That's the truth, and that's how it works. So right now you've all heard of James Renner. James Renner is the one that's been interviewing Oscar Alexander, Alistair Douglas, Yellow. He spoke with the Bradley family like years and years back. His narrative, James Renner's narrative is, I'm back, here I am. James Renner's narrative is there's something up with the family. Yellow didn't do it. Yellow's not involved. Something's up with the family. That's James Renner's view. But has he looked at all the views? Has he paid attention to all the signs? I don't know. Maybe he said he has. What's up, Fancy? Maybe he has. We don't know. Well, how'd you like it, Jamrock? So that's James Renner's mindset. Then there's other people's mindsets too on social media. What's up, Jessica? On social media, like, hey, the family knows something. The family's guilty. Their timelines are changing. Guys, I think people need to remember this was 27 years ago. 27 years ago. What's up, Julie? Things are going to change in 27 years. Whether they're off by an hour or so, that doesn't really matter. But the main timeline is staying the same. I think one big key component that I've been really diving into lately is the facts themselves and moving the I'm here, Green Eye Girl, I'm here. What's up, AF? How you doing? Happy Sunday. For me, if you guys have noticed, I'm taking a different approach. I'm focusing more on Piggles, Mommy. That's true. Not a lot of people do remember a lot of things about it. I'm taking an approach basing it on facts. What do we know that is factual? We know she was on a cruise. How did she get on the cruise? We knew that she got on the cruise because her father won some sales thing within the insurance company that he worked for. And all that. Steph actually just put a video out about that. Dark Passenger, my other account was hacked. The other account was hacked. I have zero access to it. They take my videos and then repost them. So please report it and block it. I don't have any association with that old account anymore. So, Mackenzie. So, appreciate you, Dark Passenger. So, yeah, that's all I do is repost it. I can't get it back, and at this point, I don't even want to get it back. I'm just going to move on. So, I'm good, Mackenzie. So, I was going to say mass report the other account and report it, block it. Eventually, TikTok will take it down. I appreciate you guys. So anyways, yes, I want to focus more on the facts of the case. That's what we need to know. So she got on the cruise ship because her father, Ron, won some sales thing within the insurance company. That's what we know. We know that she was alive and well when she went to dinner. I'm here. I'm here for you. We know she was alive and well when she went to dinner. Remember the waiter asked some questions about taking her off the ship to go to the bar, Carlos and Charlie's. So we knew she was alive and well there. Things start to get a little fuzzy as everything happens after midnight. That's when things get a little fuzzy. Now, someone a minute ago mentioned the FBI, and I just actually did a video about this. Daisy, I missed you guys too. A lot of you guys don't even know that my other account was hacked. And that's why you guys are like, where is he? Here I am. The other account was hacked. Please report the hell out of it. And eventually TikTok will take it down. So here's where things get a little dicey. I just did I just did a video a little while ago. You guys probably haven't even seen it yet, but I did a video a little while ago about the FBI. So I want to put a couple pieces of the FBI to rest real quick. One, the case is still open. Ness, I'll tell you that in 1 second. The case is still open. When the case is still open, they cannot share the information that they have. Thanks, Jamrock. They cannot share the information. So I know, what's up, Christy? I know a lot of people are like, why won't they tell the family anything? Why won't they tell the family? It's standard procedure. They're not going to reveal any information because the case is still open. It is still open after 27 years because they do not have a body. Until they can find, stop Nancy, until they can find Amy Bradley or have a body or DNA of something that washed up anything at all, they will not see, absolutely New Hampshire mother. Same with Mara Murray. It will stay open until they have a body. And it could be 75 years. That's why there's cold cases that are solved 40 years later. What's up, Shani? Because again, they need a body. So that's why they keep it open. Michelle, the family did declare her deceased or passed on, but that does not mean that the case is closed. The FBI still needs a body. They need proof of life or proof of death. That's what they would need. Another thing, I don't know if it was you, Michelle, or somebody else asked about, like, what did the waiter do? The waiter specifically asked for Amy at one point when they were at the dinner. They were sitting down eating dinner, and they asked where Amy was, or we would want to take her to Carlos and Charlie's, and she was like in the bathroom or something at the time. She wasn't even there. And then they left. They filled their water and left. She comes back, and they brought it up. The family brought it up. It's like, hey, these guys wanted to, take you here, whatever. And she was kind of like, that's weird. Like, I'm all set. I'm good. So that's what they wanted to do. The weird thing about it, here's the weird thing. Go ahead, Jenny. Here's the weird thing about that. So Ness, I'm going to go into that. Here's the weird thing about it. I said this before my old account got hacked, and we were talking a lot about this. I believe that was the first failed attempt to get Amy off the boat. Just the way I feel. I could be way off. But something tells me that's the first attempt to get her off the boat. Here's why I say that. This was around 11 o'clock at night. According to what Brad has mentioned, the family's mentioned, what's up, Stephanie, all those things, they mentioned this was like around 11 o'clock at night. They were due to leave Aruba. Thank you guys for all the new follows. I greatly appreciate you guys. They were due to leave Aruba, hence their itinerary at 1 a.m., which means for them to be physically leaving the dock of Aruba, or port, whatever, of Aruba, it usually, they probably want the passengers on the ship for at least 30 to 45 minutes before they depart, right? So like everything is done, the ropes are sent off, they're off the cleats, all that stuff. Like they're getting rid of everything and getting ready to get the tugboats to pull that boat away from the dock. So you're probably talking 30 to 45 minutes. So now at this point, it would be maybe 12:30 in the morning, 12:15 in the morning. Well, if dinner was over at 11, and I know you guys are like, where are you going with this? It's going to make sense right now. The waiter wanted to have her go to Carlos and Charlie's. Well, if the dinner was over around 11, by the time they drove to Carlos and Charlie's, which was about a 20 to 25 minute drive to St. Nicholas, Aruba, and then another 25 minutes back, that's 50 minutes, which means they're going to be back by like around, maybe almost 1 o'clock in the morning. They would miss the boat. They would literally miss the boat leaving port. So to me, something doesn't make sense there. To me, you were trying to get her off that ship, but you wouldn't even have time to go there, have a drink, and then come back. You probably would have just as much time to drive there, literally, and get in the car and drive back. because it'd be almost an hour's worth of time to do it with traffic. So to me, that was the first failed attempt to get her off the boat. Another thing, guys, I want to tell you, I haven't shared this yet. If you guys are brand new to me and you guys have never ever seen me before, never heard me before, just say hello. My old account was hacked. We had like 50,000 followers and we're starting over. I'm ready to move on from it, and I'm just going to keep putting out the content. But if you guys are brand new, just say hello. One thing I always do is I always check in with you guys throughout the conversation. I always say hi. I always say pulse check, stuff like that. So if you guys have questions, throw them in there, and my mods will do the best they can to chat with you guys, and I'll answer all your questions. So here's the next thing. This is something that I never disclosed to you guys. On the prior account, I was able to speak with a passenger. This passenger said, "What's up, Audrey?" This passenger was very clear with me. This passenger said when they were on an excursion in Aruba, that this passenger got separated from their mother or stepmother. It was a stepmother at this time. And what's up, Amy? Got separated. And the new driver said, "Oh, we want to go to Carlos and Charlie's." Really? So now that's the second person to mention, right? Correct, Nancy. That's the second person. What's up, Lily? Second person to mention going to Carlos and Charlie's. So now this is one passenger said they wanted to separate them, bring them to Carlos and Charlie's. Then we also know that the family mentioned that they were trying to separate Amy from the family and bring them to Carlos and Charlie's. To me, something isn't vibing there. What's up, Amy? Something isn't vibing there. That's way too many people randomly saying, let's go to Carlos and Charlie. If you guys have never been to Aruba, and this was also in 1998, but if you guys have never been to Aruba, that port area is a very busy area. There's hundreds of restaurants and bars. Even back then, there was so many. Why would you want to take someone 25 minutes out? New Hampshire, by the way, we mean bats. Do you mean boats? Why would you take someone 25 minutes out of the way to St. Nicholas, which, by the way, is not like the nicest area in the world, to go to a bar when there's like 81 of them all right there? You know what I mean? Deanna, yes, he does follow me now on this new account. Yes. So to me, everybody wants to go to Carlos and Charlie. I don't know why, but that was a thing. And again, I believe that was their first failed attempt. Oh, yes. That was their first failed attempt to get Amy off that boat. Again, my opinion, I might not be right. It's just an opinion, but those are two facts that we know. One fact we knew from the family. They mentioned it multiple times. They mentioned it in every documentary. That's been mentioned. That's been clarified. And then also what's up, Shane? And then also the passenger I spoke to said the exact same thing. So that was the first, yes, that was the first whole night. They had to go to Puerto Rico and get on the cruise from Puerto Rico. And then they went off. So that was the first full night, yes. Yep. Aubrey, not yet. I will. When the old account got hacked, I was starting to transition from Amy and Mara Murray together, and then I was going into JonBenet Ramsey. The passenger was 21 at the time, the passenger, and Amy was 23. Kathy, you're welcome. Was the owner of the bar investigated? So, nope. The owner of the bar the name of the bar was Carlos and Charlie's, but it's no longer there. I don't know if the building might still be there, but that name is no longer in business anymore. What's up, Brooke? No longer in business anymore in Aruba. You too, Maria. So there was a couple questions, and I wanna scroll back and see it. 1 second. Are you able to post it? Are you able to post the interview of Yellow's daughter and Brad? It's on my YouTube. Amy, can you put my YouTube link up and pin that? So for you guys that don't know, my YouTube channel is up in there. It's up there. You guys can see it. It's at Laugh and Grind 1. Laugh and Grind 1. And I'll have my moderator put it up there for you guys. Steph, can you go over? Thanks, Amy. So yeah, guys, that's my YouTube. Go over there and subscribe to it. You're going to get, like, my lives and everything are going to be recorded. I'm going to upload at least 3 or 4 lives a week, so you guys can start seeing them, because I have a lot of followers. You're welcome, Amy. I have a lot of followers in Europe, Australia, that don't have an opportunity to really see me go live because of the time difference. So I'm going to start posting a few lives a week on YouTube. Hey, Steph, can you go over if you think Yellow was involved and what his part might have been? I can, Steph. I absolutely can. It's going to take me, what's up, Kristen? It's going to take me a couple minutes. Do you guys want me to answer that right now? Which I can do. You guys want to know how I feel the involvement is and how that whole process goes with Yellow? Do you guys even know who Yellow is? I have no problem going right into it. Appreciate you. All right, let's go right into it. So Yellow, if you guys don't know who Yellow is Alistair Douglas. They call him Yellow. I don't know why. There's so many answers out there, but they call him Yellow. I believe that Yellow was a small pond or a small fish in a very, very big pond. That's the best way I can explain it. I don't think he's involved as much as people think he is. I really don't. Right now, there's two narratives. One narrative is the family is doing nefarious things, and that's it. The other narrative is that she was trafficked. If she was trafficked, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Yellow doesn't know about it because it's not how it works. How trafficking works, guys, is everyone has a task. Everyone has a job, a responsibility. That's it. They don't know what's happening after the fact. For example, you could pay me $500 to pick this up, this computer mouse. You could pay me $500 to pick up this mouse and bring it to another location and leave it on a bench. I'm not asking who's receiving it. Why am I bringing it to the bench? Why are you asking me to bring it at this time? All I'm doing is taking my $500 and delivering that mouse to the bench. That's it. So the same thing with trafficking. They don't know what the next move is. They don't know where they're going to go next. They don't know who's going to receive it. He could have been paid just to hang out with her. He could have been paid just to have a cigarette with her. He could have been paid just to have a drink with her. We truly don't know. Typically in big scale trafficking organizations, especially ones that we are starting to really look at in the Caribbean, they don't know what the next role is going to be, if that makes sense. They don't know what that next step is. They just know, hey, deliver it here and that's it. Hey, I just need you to hang out with this girl for a while. Show her a good time. Okay. That's it. He may not so like if he's answering questions on his polygraph test, like, do you know what happened to Amy Bradley? And he says no, he might actually be telling the truth. He might be. So he would not know the context either. So someone just said, I think Green Eye Girl, you said, would he know his contact? No. Somebody would just approach and say, I'm going to give you this much money to do this. Okay. That's how it works. The Caribbean is huge with trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and also ammunition trafficking. Those are the three biggest things, especially back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Three biggest pieces that are trafficked in the Caribbean, and it's human trafficking, drug trafficking, and ammunition. So right off the bat, those aren't people you want to mess with, like, at all. So that's where I believe the involvement is. I don't even know really how involved he is. There's a lot of different things out there. I'm toying with a theory right now in my head that I have not disclosed to anybody yet. It's just a theory. I've done a couple little videos like hinting at it, but I haven't even disclosed this theory. I didn't disclose it on my last channel that got hacked. I haven't disclosed it to you guys yet, but it is a theory that I'm playing with mentally right now. And guys, I do promise I will do a Q&A with you guys. I 100% promise I'll do a Q&A because I know there's a lot of new people here and a lot of new followers. And I appreciate you guys, all the new followers, every one of you. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much. The Caribbean is poor, so I see why I would do things for money since he's from there. 100%. 100%. Like when you go to areas that are not so affluent, so to speak, there's not a lot of money there. It's very easy to go to those people and say, hey, I know it's tough. I know you have a tough life here. I know it's tough for you and your family. I'm going to give you $1,000. This is all I need you to do. And they say, okay. So it makes sense. Michelle, what is your question? Do you think it started with the dad's job? I don't know what you mean by that, Michelle. If you could ask it a little differently. But yeah, there is still a theory that I'm playing with. And again, I haven't disclosed it yet, but there is still a theory. Dark Passenger, I agree with you. What else? What else? The neighbor worked for the same company. Michelle, yes, he did. The neighbor worked for the same insurance company. According to the passenger that I spoke to before, there was a few different insurance companies there. They all purchase like a bunch of rooms, and that's where they send you when you have a great year. So I think a lot of people don't know that. So I'm in sales. That's my job now. I'm in sales. If you do well in sales, it's called President's Club, at least in the corporate world. It's called President's Club. They send you to like Hawaii for a week because you hit over a certain percentage of your quota. I think it's like 250% of your quota. They send you to President's Club. It's the same thing in the insurance world, especially back then. If you did well, they would send you on a cruise, all expenses paid. That was how it worked. So there was multiple people there from multiple different insurance agencies just enjoying the cruise that were sent there because they did well. That's why they were there. Yeah, they send you on a trip. Like literally, like you go to Hawaii for the corporate world or wherever they want to send you. But typically it's like some nice luxurious place. Has there been any recent updates from the FBI or the PI? The only things right now that is being brought up that's new is Elizabeth mentioning Senorita kidnapped. That is it. Mersey me, do I believe she jumped? I don't believe she jumped. I do not believe she jumped. The reason I don't believe she jumped is because she wasn't a big fan of the ocean. She didn't have any unaliving thoughts based on what we know. Is it Mersey? I don't know how to pronounce it. If you want me to go a little bit more in depth, just say go more in depth, and I'll gladly do that for you. So they could have worked for the same company but not know each other. Michelle, that's possible. I mean, they could have maybe not known each other. Perfect. Thanks, Mersey me. They may have known each other. They may not have known each other. But from what I understand, they were like they did know of each other. Mersey me. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth just so other people can understand it too. When I say she didn't have the mindset of someone who wants to unalive themselves. Steph, I did see that. She just got a new job. She just got a new apartment. She just got a new car. She just got a new puppy. She just graduated college. She was getting back together with her ex-girlfriend that she really cared about. That is 6 positive things right off the top of my brain that does not point to someone who wants to unalive themselves. That tells me that is someone, especially she was writing letters and postcards and stuff saying, I can't wait to get back, can't wait to see you. That doesn't give me the mindset of someone that wants to end it. So that's why I don't believe she jumped. I also don't believe she fell over by accident because that railing was relatively high. For her to go over, she would actually physically have to like kind of leap. You can't just like go over by accident. It just doesn't, it just not, it goes against physics. It just goes against physics. I believe you, Merzimia. I got you. So that's what I believe there. Here's the other thing. I want to be very, very, actually, let me answer this. I remember you asked this question. It's like you have a bunch of numbers, 1 1 number, blah. You said the Scientology theory. I don't know much about that theory being involved. I know Brad touched on Scientology being a theory because there was 2 black women that were seen with her. But to be very clear, guys, Scientology is not in the business of abducting people or kidnapping people. Scientology is in the business of religion. You know, I mean, it's a different kind of religion, but they're not in the business of abducting people and kidnapping people. That's just not their thing. And I think the fact that it was, and the other thing, guys, it's docked there. It's been docked there for many years. I was just in Aruba in April and I saw it there. Like, and I didn't even know what it was at the time. It just says free winds on. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But actually the cab driver, now that I think about it, the cab driver brought it up and said, oh yeah, they dock here. That's their home dock. So Lisa B. Jen, here I am. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't think they're involved there. At all. I don't. I think wrong place, wrong time. In my opinion, if she was going to go over, she would have not have opened the door. So that's the other thing too. And you touch on that too. I'm not going to ask for a tour. So here's the other thing too, Jeremy. You brought this up. You and I were talking a little bit. If you guys don't know, so she was on the balcony with her brother Brad. They had a little discussion after the club. He goes to bed and shuts the door. And then Ron wakes up around 5:45, 6 a.m. She's gone and the door is slightly open. The balcony door is slightly open. If she went overboard, why would she open it up? Why would she open that door? What's up, Melody? To me, like, why would you open that sliding door if you're going to go over? To me, that doesn't really make sense. So that's why I really don't believe she went over on her own. I also don't think it's physically possible to go over by accident because it's just weight. That railing is 3.5 feet high, which is what, 42 inches? And she was 5'6", which is 66 inches. So is it 66? I think yeah, 66 inches. So pretty much from like her sternum to the top of her head is the sternum is where the railing is. So I don't think she even would have went over by accident. Dina, have you seen the recent video of their ship? Which one, of the Scientology ship or the Rhapsody of the Sea ship? Wendy, why were her shoes on the balcony? So here's the thing about the shoes. A lot of people bring up the shoes. Here's the thing about the shoes. I'm going to go out on a limb here and do a quick pulse check before I answer your shoes. Quick pulse check for all the ladies. When you guys go on vacation, do you typically pack more than one pair of shoes? Yes or no? Whether they be sandals, heels, walking, sneakers, whatever. Do you typically pack more than one pair of shoes? Yeah, I was gonna say a whole bunch. You just replied, yep, yes. Something tells me she probably had at least another pair of shoes. According to Brad, I had him on a live a few weeks back, and he mentioned the shoes briefly, and he said we don't know how many pairs of shoes she packed. Also, a lot of people do walk around barefoot as well, especially on the deck. It was very common back then. So the shoes could have been just left there. She could have literally walked out to go grab ice or something. Dally, no, and I will not be getting that account back. I've moved on from it. You just report it for scamming and fraud and block it, and we'll move on from it, Dally. So again, the shoes, it's tough, but I don't believe the shoes really matter. I think she just kind of kicked them off. Maybe she put on a different pair of shoes. Just saying. I mean, you guys got to think too, if she was they were like Birkenstock style shoes that were left there, sandals. She's in a gown, a pretty gown when they went to a formal dinner, which means she definitely brought another pair of shoes. She's probably not going to wear those Birkenstock style shoes with a gown. So is a conjoining door on the deck on the side of the neighbor? Yes, but that conjoining door is only unlocked by security. According to the family, it is only unlocked by security. So you can't just unlock it and just walk on the other side. Closet is right by the door on a cruise ship. She could have very easily grabbed another pair. Yep, Tanya, 100%. Yeah, she could have grabbed another pair or already had another pair on her. What's up, Chicky Bean? I love seeing Chicky Bean jump into my lives because I just love saying the name. The director definitely would have had keys, but the director would have had to have been in the room at that point in the middle of the night. I don't think that's what I mean. Like a lot of people keep bringing up the neighbor. He was a creepy guy, but I don't think it went any further than that. I think he was just a creepy guy. He said he loves being alone and solitude and all that stuff. Honestly, he strikes me as the kind of guy that goes on cruise ships to hook up with women. I'm not saying I condone that behavior, but I just think he's a weird dude. But like, I don't think he's involved with anything. You think someone entered her room? No, Shane, I do not. I don't think anybody entered her room, aside from like Brad, herself, her mom and dad. I don't think anyone that should not have entered the room ever entered the room, no. Mersey Me, do you believe her mom really slept through all that was going on in the room? It's funny you say that, Mersey Me. That's a tough question for me to answer because I've gone back and forth with that. I wanted to ask Brad that. Did your mom sleep through this whole thing? But I feel like if I ask that, it's going to come off like I'm pointing a finger, and I don't want it to come off like that. Leah, they blocked you because everyone's reporting the account. Eventually, TikTok will take it down. I don't know we don't know. She could be a heavy sleeper for all we know. I don't know. But there wasn't really much that occurred. All we know is Brad went in. He said he kind of snuck in and went out into the balcony. And then she came in 5 minutes later, went out to the balcony. He came out of off the balcony, went to sleep. Appreciate you, Leah. Went to sleep, and that was it. Like, I don't know how loud it was in there. I'm a heavy sleeper. Like, literally, like, my wife can vacuum and I'll sleep. So everyone's different, I think. Tiffany, you can throw in some big words at me on a Sunday night. Do you think she could have removed via rolling scaffolding from the deck? No. No, because FBI would have found that. That would have, so any kind of, let me put it this way, guys. Let me put it this way. any kind of malfunction of the ship, the deck, that partition, the family would have checked. They would have went out there and looked around and checked by that point. So I think that's a thing that a lot of people forget about is like, well, what if the door was unlocked? The partition was unlocked. Beautiful disaster. It's good to see you. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, the family would have checked that already. They would have, if the scaffolding like moved or something like that, they would have noticed that. So I don't think it was anything like that. I don't think there was any malfunction like that either. I just don't. Does her brother and father, Jenny Lynn, can you put a quick comment up about like the old account, like block, report, block, and could, if you wouldn't mind, Jenny Lynn or Amy? Is it Rylan? Does her brother and father or mother remember what shoes she was wearing before she went missing? Yes, the Birkenstocks. That's what she was wearing. We also have videos of her dancing and stuff, and there was some other videos you can see her. She's clearly in like some form of sandal. I guess now that I say it out loud, we don't know if it's a Birkenstock or a sandal, but yes, they said she was in sandals. And guys, everyone who's following me, brand new followers, guys, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Yeah, the shoes are a big mystery. If you guys are new, I had Brad on a live a few weeks back on the other account before it got hacked. He was able to really clear up a lot of things. The shoes are like a big thing. Everyone keeps talking about the shoes, and that's fine. Like that's fine. But the shoes to me is not a big deal. I'm going to tell you why. Whether she went missing, went overboard, the shoes don't matter. What matters is what happened before. And I'm going to share with you guys this. Remember I said, guys, that there's a theory that I've been throwing around in my head and I haven't really shared it. What I think would be a good idea is if I bring it up now and just kind of see how you guys feel about it. Let me see let me see what you guys think of it. Are you guys cool with me doing that, going into that other theory? It's a theory I haven't really disclosed much, but I've done a couple videos alluding to it, but I haven't really said it. Cool. Again, guys, I appreciate all the new followers. You guys are great. Thank you so much. If you like the way I cover cases and the way I ask questions and you haven't followed yet, please consider following now. Here's my other theory. And again, guys, this is a theory. This is just me throwing ideas out there to figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. That's all it is, okay? Just full transparency. For me, there's a very, very good chance that Amy went downstairs at one point in the middle of the night. What's up, Chicky Bean? At one point in the middle of the night, meaning like when she was dancing. There's a point where Brad mentions that he looked up and it was like, oh yeah, Amy's up there. You know, I love the cape, M. Love the cape. Or is it Kelly? M. Kelly. He goes, yeah, Amy's up there. But he never really specifies that he could physically see her. He just said she's up there. But he never specified, like, I can physically see her. He says it at the end, like around 3:30 when he does this to Amy, goes, hey, I'm leaving. He saw her then. But before that, he never says, like, he saw her. He just said, Amy's up there and I'm okay. He was talking to his dad, Ron. Something tells me there's a good chance she could have gone down to the cruise area, to the crew cabin area. Because Oscar Alexander mentioned he was Yellow's roommate. And he mentions that security was asking questions around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, I brought this up in a video, and Brad actually responded to the video. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was just like yesterday, and he responded to it, and he said, no, that wouldn't be possible because why would the crew be asking questions if nothing was reported for a few hours? Pretty much saying they wouldn't know to ask questions, right? What's up, Heather? But that's why I think Brad might not be thinking, and I don't mean this in a negative way if he's listening. What I mean is like Brad might not be considering this. If he was talking to a couple of women, if you guys remember, Brad mentions a couple times, he was like, I was just being my 21-year-old self. I was talking to a few women, having a couple drinks. He probably wasn't like, oh, hey, let me go stare at my sister. No, he's probably talking to the two good-looking women or the good-looking women. He said, I was doing my 21-year-old thing, talking to women. He's not like, hey, what is she doing up there? He probably did eventually, but he wasn't staring up there. So something tells me maybe she did go down there. And it doesn't mean that she was going down there to do adult things. It could have been cigarettes. If I remember correctly, Brad mentioned that she mentioned that she wanted to get cigarettes. Maybe they said, hey, I have cigarettes. Something like that. Heidi, my last page was hacked. I have no association with it anymore, so this is my new page. So maybe she goes down there and then she comes back up in a little while. And maybe she didn't like what she did. Maybe she wasn't a fan of that. Because if you remember, Brad mentions that she wasn't feeling very well, maybe a little queasy, but maybe there was something that she did or she saw or she was a part of that she wasn't 100% happy with, or she didn't condone and she just didn't know how to verbalize it to Brad. And maybe in the morning she wanted to go set the record straight. Find whoever she was talking to. So listen, we can't do that. I don't want to have any part of it, whatever. Just wanted to kind of clear that up. Again, guys, that's my main theory. And let me know what you guys think. But something tells me she might have gone down there at one point during the night because security asked them something around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what Oscar Alexander said, which goes against what Yellow said. Because Yellow said security didn't do anything until 7 a.m. But Oscar said it was between 3 and 4 a.m. Well, Yellow uses his key card to go back into his room at 3:30. According to the key card data, again, we don't know who it is. And Amy goes back into her room at 3:35, 3:40. So if the security guy comes down there between 3 and 4, maybe he did see her or somebody ratted somebody out and said, there's a passenger down here. And that's why security went down at that time. That's why, guys, I said it's just a theory. It's just something I'm thinking about. Again, it would line up a little bit. Just a theory. What's up, Didi? Just a theory. I may be way off, but just a theory. Just a theory. Yeah, 100%, Steph. Linda, well, that's the thing. Is it absolutely does remind me of the telephone game because it keeps changing. One thing, guys, I said before. Elizabeth, I don't think so. No. One thing I've said before is I don't think that's her checking the computer either, Michelle. And I'm going to get into that stuff in a second. One thing, guys, that I've said before, is the only way investigators find answers is if they ask a lot of questions, if they go down multiple paths. If I go down a path and I'm like, Yellow's telling the truth, it doesn't mean I believe him. It just means that he's telling the truth about something. And I'm just trying to see where it takes me. I might go, the family's being honest. It doesn't mean I'm not believing anybody else. It just means that, that's the path I'm taking right now to see where it leads me. It doesn't mean that that's the truth. You know what I mean? That's the answer. No, we got to look down all the paths and see which ones are ridiculous and which ones make the most sense. Now, a few of you said a minute ago, what do you think she's doing now? Is that her on the computer? Do you think she's happy and alive and well? I believe if she was truly and honestly trafficked, she does not remember who the Amy Bradley is that we all knew and fell for. What I mean by that is I believe Stockholm Syndrome is very, very real. Very real. Manipulation, drugs, abuse. At this point, this woman has no idea about what happened 27 years ago. So she could watch she could watch a Netflix documentary and have no idea what was going on. Right? So it's a real thing. Stockholm Syndrome is so real. I know a couple people said, how do you not remember that? Let me explain it and let me know what you think. This is the best way I can explain Stockholm Syndrome and the manipulation. This is the best way I can do it. If anyone here, there's about 177 of you, if anyone here has any childhood trauma, you bury it deep, 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 deep back in your subconscious mind. And you just bury it so far back. Elizabeth, I'm answering you right now. You bury it so far back that the only way it gets resurfaced is if it triggers. Something triggers it. Or therapy. Well, for her, she's buried it so far back with all that manipulation and Stockholm Syndrome that you don't really remember, but it's there. It's going to take therapy. It's going to take multiple triggers. It's going to take constant remembering. Constant remembering. So it's not that she doesn't remember on purpose. It's the fact that it's just so embedded in her subconscious mind that she doesn't know that it exists. She doesn't know what she doesn't know. If that makes sense, Elizabeth Carlucci, love that last name. If that makes sense, that's what it is. It's not that she doesn't want to remember it. It's the fact that it's virtually impossible for her to do it on her own. Another way I can explain it, Elizabeth, if you're still listening, is if, let's say this is Amy Bradley, right? Brad could literally walk by her. Have you guys ever done that? Like you've seen someone, you're like, is that deja vu? Like you ever, and you kind of like look at them for a second, like, well, how do I know that person? And then you just kind of move on, and you just kind of like walk away, and like, all right, whatever, and you move on, right? But then let's say you see that same person again, you're like, this is the second time I've seen, and then it starts to come to you. That's what it is. So she could literally walk by Brad. Brad might recognize her, and she would have to look at him for a little bit. And then Brad would have to do what Adam Sandler did with Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates. He would have to continuously remind her, show her pictures, show her home videos, like flashbacks, correct. Just keep talking about it. And what that does is takes that memory in her subconscious that's so low and starts to bring it up to the surface. That is my long-winded response. What do you guys think? It did take me a little while there to go into that. I apologize, but what do you guys think? And when I say what do you guys think, like does that make sense? Essentially is what I'm asking you. Jersey Mom. It's like dementia. Yep. The only difference with dementia, though, Emily, is that dementia, you typically forget it for good, because the brain is kind of warped at a certain point. Warped isn't the right word, but there's some things that are not connected any longer. So it's typically when you have dementia, you don't remember things. Like it won't come back to you. It's more like a PTSD. If Amy is alive, do you think she wants to be found? Mersey, it goes right back to the statement that I made, which is she doesn't know that she is missing. So she doesn't know that people are looking for her because she doesn't know anything bad happened. If that makes sense. They just don't know. So it's not that she doesn't want to be found. She might not know that she has to be found. Mersey me, if that makes sense. They had my sister in a remote place for almost 3 years on rugs. It alters reality. 100%, Stephanie. 100%. It absolutely alters that reality. That is the new reality. Michelle, she was 23 when she went missing, so she'll be like 50, 51 now. But you're absolutely right. It does absolutely alter your reality. For Amy right now, guys, by the way, I just want to be very clear. Her name ain't Amy. Her vibe matters. What's up? Her name ain't Amy anymore. Like, they're not going to do that. Elizabeth, it's very possible, yes. Her name is not going to be Amy. And correct, Gwen. Correct. She's not going to go by Amy. They're not going to say, by the way, your name is still Amy Bradley. No, they're going to change everything about her. This is her new reality. This is the reality that she knows now. I want to just explain this real quick, guys, and I'm going to go right into a bunch of Q&As with you guys, all right? So real quick, if you guys are brand new to my channel, I've already kind of alluded to this, I do a pulse check. If you guys are brand new and you guys, or not even, just listening to me, if you guys are still with me, say hi. Just say hi. Alicia, how you doing? This is my pulse check. This is me saying, if you guys are listening, paying attention to what I got to say, just say hi. Hello, hello, hello. Perfect. All of you guys, thank you for, hey hamsters. Thank you guys for all the new follows. I appreciate all of you. Kristen K, what's up? I appreciate all the new follows. You guys mean a lot, especially when that last account got hacked. I have zero access to that account. Just report it and block it. All the new followers, thank you guys so much. If you haven't followed yet, please consider following. One thing, do you guys remember what happened in the world about 4 or 5 years ago? Do you guys remember what happened 4 or 5 years ago in the world? I'm here, Carrie. Remember to report and block that other account, Carrie. Do you guys remember what happened to the world about 4 to 5 years ago? Kelsey's got it. Linda, 9/11, 4 to 5 years ago, Linda. 4 to 5 years ago, Linda. COVID, right? COVID. So here's the point that I'm going to make. Poor Linda. Here's the point that I want to make. We all lived a certain lifestyle, right? We all lived a certain way pre-COVID. After COVID, it's our new normal. It's our new reality. Well, that's what Amy is going to be going through. If she's still with us today on this earth, that's what it is. Prior to COVID, prior to her abduction, she really doesn't remember. Most of you are like, I don't even really remember doing this. Now that you mention it, we did do this before COVID. It's the same thing. It's a new reality now, and that's all she knows. She's been living this new reality for 27 years. We've been living this new reality for 4 years after COVID. So that's the best way I can describe it, if that makes sense for you guys. Now, Keep tapping that screen. Keep sharing that. Keep sharing this out. I greatly appreciate it. Nina, tell me what your theory is, and let's do some Q&As. Amy and Jenny Lynn, are you ready to do some rapid Q&A questions? Elizabeth, I'm going to answer you. Do I think she has kids? It's a good question. I'm going to start with that. Amy, perfect. I'm going to answer Elizabeth Carlucci first. She said, do you think she has kids? Two ways I'm going to answer that. One, if she has kids, she's part of a ring that allows kids, like a trafficking ring that allows kids. If she's not part of a ring that allows kids, then absolutely not, because some rings do not allow them because they are DNA evidence that links it back to the people who took you. We don't know, but if she does have children, there's a very good chance that the person she had children with is part of this crime ring as well. It could be a man that's within the ring that she just knew, someone she's comfortable with, and she doesn't know that it's not supposed to happen. She doesn't know she's in danger because she doesn't know any of those things. So hopefully, Elizabeth, I was able to answer that. If she has kids, she's probably with somebody who's part of this organization that she doesn't even know about. If she does not have kids, it's because she's part of a ring that does not allow them. Correct. We are ready. So Bethis, just click the little bell and make sure your push notifications are on. Do you completely believe everyone in their room slept through her leaving the room? My honest answer is yes. I believe they were sleeping. I believe Brad was probably fell asleep relatively hard. And I believe that, if you've ever had like a long night like that and you pass out hard. And I believe that they probably slept through it. Yeah. Will they ever let her go in any circumstance? Yes, they would let her go. Okay, if they were to let her go, they have negotiators. If you guys don't know this, organized crime always have negotiators. And Nina, I saw what you said there. Organized crime always has negotiators. Do you guys know what I mean by a negotiator? %, Kristen. We literally sleep like we haven't slept ever. Yes, the parents were drinking. Yep. So the negotiators in organized crime negotiate your release. So what that means is if someone has Amy, what they'll say is, you want her back? $5 million. They'll ask for $5 million. And then what happens is the negotiator will come back, talk to the other people, maybe the family or whomever. They'll talk to the family and say, look, they don't have $5 million, but they can give you $4 million. That negotiator goes back to the crime ring, says they can give you 4. They'll say 4.5, and we want it by the end of the week, and we'll deliver her back to you. So that's the negotiation. That's how it works. So that's the only way that she would be released, unless, of course, she was recovered. Yes, even after 27 years. Yep. I think a lot of people forget that just because she's 50 years old does not mean that, Josie, I think he does, yes. It does not mean that she's no longer valuable, guys. It doesn't mean that. I think a lot of people think that just because she's 50, she's no longer valuable. She's valuable, but she's valuable in other ways. Just to be clear, like she's valued in other ways. It's not always to be with people for money. It's not always that. It could be anything. So they'll always find something for them. Just to be very clear and respectful, doesn't matter how old she is. These beautiful women are 50 years old. It does not matter. They could find value in her. Maybe she's running an organization herself. Maybe she's a madam. Maybe she owns a strip club or something like that, and she's the one that runs it. They'll find something for her to do. I can tell you that right now. That's how it works. Tara, what's going on? Do you think Yellow's roommate interview with Renner was damage control? It's funny you asked that. I think it was supposed to be damage control, Tara, and then ended up kind of blowing up in their face because he said the opposite of what Alistair Douglas said. So I think there's a very good chance that it was supposed to be done for damage control. It was going to be like an alibi and stuff like that, but he ended up going like saying the absolute opposite. So, so that's my answer there. Bro, I didn't mute you. My moderators muted you. So if they muted you, they muted you for a reason. Just so you guys know, if you guys are new, you guys know my last page was hacked. I have no access to it. I always make sure that my forum is respectful. I keep politics off my forum. I want to make sure everyone feels happy and everyone feels safe and feels comfortable to comment. So my moderators know very clearly if people are doing things or saying things politically or being disrespectful, it's a quick mute and block. I don't put up with it. But if my moderators say they did not mute you, then it might be something on your settings. Usually they're pretty good. They're pretty good about it. What else you guys got? You guys must have more questions than this. Stacy, do you think she wants to be found after this long, being that she is in this new life? It goes right back to my original statement. Right back to the original statement of she doesn't know that she's lost. She doesn't know that she is like needs to be found. She doesn't know. You know what I mean? She just doesn't know. Aubrey, do you talk about solved cases or just unsolved cases? I've done Karen Reed. That was a solved case. Technically, we don't know who technically harmed John O'Keefe or unalived him. But I do both unsolved and solved cases, yes. Do you still believe there's a woman involved? What about the woman on the dance floor? I still believe a woman was involved. If she was physically and actually trafficked, I do believe a woman was involved for the trust factor. Yes, I do. Who do you think is on the computer watching the website? I think it's someone who's overseeing Amy. I think it's someone who oversees Amy. I think that is the person who's looking at the that's on the computer with the IP addresses because of this. I'm going to tell you why. I believe it's like that so that they know they always have the upper hand, like who's around, who's not around, how close are they getting, who's alive, who's not alive. They can use it to their advantage. So I think it's a way of keeping tabs on them. That's all it is. They're not going to show her family after 27 years at this point. Which sightings do you believe? None of them. None of them. I did a video on this, and I did this as well before I got hacked, but I did a video on this recently. A lot of people think any woman with short hair is Amy Bradley. Like, no. But if you do, and you're able to send a video or take a picture, just send it to amybradleyismissing.com. Like, let the investigators handle it. Because what happens is, everyone's like, oh my God, I saw her. She's in Barbados. Oh my God, I saw her. She's in San Francisco. Oh my God, I saw her. She's in Canada. We have no idea where to look. Just send it to amybradleyismissing.com. Let the family and the investigators deal with it. Seriously, like, let them do it. And even the thing about the tattoo here, guys, what's up, Liz? Even think about the tattoo, like, she's not going to have that tattoo anymore. That tattoo is going to be either carved out or removed or covered up. They're not going to have something identifiable on her, just like Kristen K, just like you just said. They're not going to have an identifiable thing on her body where you can be like, that's definitely her, look at the tattoo. They're not going to have that anymore. They may put something over it to cover it, or they're going to remove it completely. But that tattoo of the Tasmanian devil with a basketball ain't going to be there anymore. Yeah, I think I was going to say, Kristen, you're right. Like, I think a lot of people forget that if these are traffickers, this is a legitimate organized crime organization. Guys, Christine, my other account got hacked. I have no access to that account. So report them and block them. That's where I've been, Christine. If this is a real criminal organization that we believe is a criminal organization, guys, they are so friggin' intelligent. Like, it's called organized crime. Organized crime. They are so ridiculously intelligent. So ridiculously intelligent. Let me ask you guys a question real quick. What's up, Chelsea? Let me ask you guys a question real quick. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you right now, can call up your doctor and ask for plastic surgery and have that doctor at your house in less than an hour right now? If you can, say yes. If you cannot, say no. I'll wait. How many of you right now, by yes or no, can literally call a doctor right now for plastic surgery? They will be there in an hour. Tell me right now, yes or no. Can you do it? Exactly. But in organized crime, they absolutely can. They have better doctors than we have. They have better health care than we do. You guys want a passport? It takes like 6 to 12 weeks. You need a passport in Christina, I hope they're okay. You want a passport and you're in organized crime, you'll get it in less than 8 hours. And it looks more legit than your passport when you go through the real channels. That's the world we live in, guys. That is organized crime. Did you check out the video of the girl looking like, yes, Carrie? Yes, I did. I did. And I do not think it's her. So, guys, I think a lot of people forget when we're talking about organized crime, like, these people are good. These people are insanely good. Have you guys ever seen the show Blacklist? Kristen, no, I have not. Have you guys ever seen the show Blacklist? Where do you think these things come from? Breaking Bad, or was it Breaking Bad? Or whatever it is. Where do you think these things come from? They come from real life scenarios, real life situations. These organized crime people pay actual medical doctors, real doctors. They pay them $1 million a year cash under the table. They go, whenever we need you, we're going to call you on this phone and you better be there. And they will be there. That's how it works. That's real life. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but it's real life. I do not believe in Herman, no. They 100%, Kelsey. 100%. What else you guys got for questions? I don't see a lot of questions being pinned. Amy, Jenny Lynn. Wouldn't they be scared of all the publicity and let her go or something else? No. They're at the point with her now, guys, if she is still with us on this earth, she's at the point now where they're like, dude, she doesn't even know who she is anymore. So she could see a picture up there and that's it. But she also doesn't have do you guys think she has an iPhone? Do you think she's literally listening right now? Do you think she's FaceTiming people right now? No. She doesn't have access to that. She has none of that stuff. None of that stuff. And Tiffany, when I said the thing about Herman is because I don't know about it. That's why I said like I don't believe it because I don't know enough about it. That's what I meant. Sorry about that. That's my bad. Do you think she'll be found soon with all the new revelations in media? I would say in the next 6 months. I've been saying since the end of the year. We'll know a lot more. 100%. What is it? Diane, why wouldn't she know who she is? She wouldn't know who she is, Diane, because of all the manipulation and the abuse over the years. Stockholm Syndrome is real. She's been made to believe that they are her family now. So that's why she wouldn't even know who she is at this point. I live in Marion, Ohio, and Kurt just resigned. Oh, Kirk Detweiler, the cruise director. It's about time he resigns. That means there's a reason why he resigned, by the way. And it could be he could have resigned because he has some pressure on him now. We don't know. But that's good information. No, Jeremy, no. Again, they are also in another country. They have hidden underground stuff you wouldn't believe. Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with that. Why after all these years finally getting answers? So, Linda, that's an answer that's going to take me about a minute to respond to. So, bye-bye, Kirk. Julie, how you been? I didn't even say hi to you. I'm sorry. Here's the thing, Linda. Brad mentioned that they've been looking for answers for so many years. Jenny Lynn or Amy, leave that comment up for me from Selena. They mentioned that they've been looking for her for many, many years, and FBI just started getting back involved about a year ago. So that's a good thing. That means that we're putting pressure on the FBI by just talking about it, bringing up different scenarios. It's a good thing. But unfortunately, they don't have enough information to keep moving forward. That's why the investigator is doing it right now. The FBI needs a real solid lead, and they don't have it. So that's why it's taken a lot of years to get these answers, because we're starting to talk about it. Selena, in the 80s and 90s, there was a very small private island the locals warned us not to go to. Yeah, so Selena, a lot of you guys don't know, but there's a lot of little islands in the Caribbean that not a lot of people go to, like tourists don't go to, but locals will sometimes go to for different reasons. We'll leave those off of TikTok. Crime and trafficking is big in the Caribbean, especially in the late 90s. What about the missing pictures? Here's the thing about the missing pictures. We don't know who they belong to. Now, I know they were found in Yellow's luggage, but how do we know that was Yellow's luggage? We really don't know. There could be a good chance that Yellow was trying to transfer that luggage to a different location. They're not actually his, but he wasn't going to open it. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate right now, but technically that is true. We don't have proof that that was actually his. What about the money Yellow had after that cruise? So here's something about that money. I know I did a video on this before. Let me ask you guys a question. By yes or no, do you guys believe Alistair Douglas is being truthful? By yes or no? Michelle, I think a lot of people took those pictures. I think that was a big organization group that took those pictures, wasn't just one person. So I asked the question, it looks like there's a bunch of no's. Do you guys believe he's being truthful? A lot of you guys are saying no. So why are you asking me how he got the money? How do we know he didn't lie about it? No one saw the money. No one saw him counting money. No one saw the money. He was just talking about it. So if you guys are saying now, we don't believe anything he's saying, so why are we believing the money thing? Think about that. Just think about what I just said. Think about that. We're all saying we don't believe he's truthful, so why are we believing that he had the money? Think about that. Why would he say it? Because he's a liar. Maybe he said it because he wanted to make himself look better. The truth is, guys, you have to think of these things. If we're thinking he's lying about everything, but all of a sudden he's telling the truth about the money, he never mentioned the money. He never mentioned where he got the money. We also don't know who he was talking to or even if he even had this conversation about the money. Do you guys know where the money part came from? Where did this whole speculation about him having this money, where did it come from? Do you guys remember? And guys, I'm not trying to discredit anybody. I'm just trying to help you guys think more objectively. Do you guys remember where this whole money thing came from? Do you remember who brought it up? Wasn't talking to church. He didn't talk about the $60,000 in church, Bagel's mom. He's talking about the 1 point something million that he lost because he had an actual business, a water treatment business. The information came from his daughter. The information came from his ex-wife, his daughter's mother. Never came, but we have not heard from her. We never heard from Amika's mom, and Amika wasn't even alive then. So she's just hearing what her mom is saying. Alistair Douglas, we don't know. No one has ever said yet it came from his mouth. No one has said that yet. No one has said that yet. Think about that. I'm not saying he's innocent, guys. I just want to help you guys think a little bit more objectively. And Julie, you asked a question, what would it be like traffic now versus 1999? A lot harder. A lot harder now because of cameras. Tara talks, I don't know. So far, she hasn't spoken. But Julie, it would be a lot harder now because people have cameras. Everyone has a phone now that has a camera on it. Here's the other thing. In the last 10 years or so, I've noticed a lot of people. Let me tell you guys something real quick. I'm going to hold off on the Q&A real quick because I just want to say something really quick. And Julie, this is directly to you. Think about this. Kristen, I know you'll agree with this too. Back in the day, people kept their mouths shut. People did. They kept their mouths shut back in the day. They were afraid of organized crime. They didn't want to go against them because they were afraid of them. It was the fear that kept them quiet. Nowadays, if you tell someone, I'll give you $25,000, who did it? They'd be like, cool. Yeah, it was him. Things have changed. It's not like it was back in the day. No, everyone's looking for a payday nowadays. No one's loyal anymore. No one has their mouth shut anymore. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone wants to make money at this point. So, Julie, to answer you, it's a lot harder today because people will talk. And the other problem is that people will talk, right? Because now people just bring stuff up that mean nothing. They'll just talk. And it has nothing to, like, I found Amy Bradley. Look at this picture. That's her? Looks nothing like her. Well, if there's a $500,000 reward, it looks like her. And earlier someone asked about the witnesses, the people that have seen her. Can you guys tell me there's one similarity between every single witness? Do you guys know what it is? There's one similarity of every single witness. What is it? Tell me what it is, because we're going to be live for another couple more minutes, guys. And yes, I will be live tomorrow. We're going live every day. Every day. What is one similarity here, guys? Tell me one similarity. Stephanie's close. One similarity out of Hefner, out of David Carmichael, the woman in Barbados. What is one similarity? Chicky Bean, you're close. Texas Audrey, you're close too. All right, you guys are all over the place, but when I say all over the place, I don't mean that negatively. I mean like you guys are like in the bubble. Here's the answer, right? Michelle got it. They took over 2 years to report it. All of them waited to report it. All of them. So if it's like, well, I was in Barbados. I didn't think they were going to do anything. Okay, so why not when you go to the United States, you didn't say anything? Why not? If this woman said, my name is Amy Bradley, why didn't you say anything? Or the Barbados, I think her name was Julie, she saw 2 men holding her arms, walking her out. You don't say nothing? Even if it wasn't Amy Bradley, it was just a woman. Just a woman. You don't call anybody? Put a report on file? It's a woman. That was adorable. Thanks, Selena. Like, it's still a woman. It's still a person. Make the phone call. But they didn't do it. They all said, oh, I saw her in a magazine. I knew it was her. First of all, let me tell you guys something. William Hefner, he goes, I remember those eyes. Listen, bro. You were in a brothel drinking beer, okay? You were trying to pay for adult services, and you're telling me the only thing you paid attention to were her eyes? Let's be, like, come on. Like, don't insult my intelligence. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. Don't insult my intelligence. The Army guy could have made, the Navy guy, yeah, he could have made an anonymous call, 100%, but didn't. To me, these people, I'm not saying these people are lying like on purpose. I'm not saying like they're trying to look for clout or anything, but they could have been like, yeah, that was definitely her. I saw a picture of her 2 years ago. Let me tell you guys something. Can I tell you guys something? Are you guys still with me? We're going to do 5 more minutes. You guys still with me? If you are, just hang out. Just say yes. I don't. If I think back right now to somebody I might have seen 2 years ago, how the hell am I going to see someone on a magazine or online and be like, oh, I saw a girl in Stop and Shop, which is a grocery store for anyone in Europe. I saw this person in Stop and Shop. That's got to be her. It's got to be. It looks just like this person that I saw at the pharmacy 2.5 years ago in aisle 4. I was looking at the baby formula, and this is what I saw. Really? Really? Like, if your memory was that good to a T, you wouldn't be sitting there with a stained blue polo shirt, William Hefner. Like, let's be honest with each other. So, the fact that, this happened a couple years ago, I remember her eyes. I don't even know my wife's eye color. Love you. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. Jenny Lynn, you have someone delivering your groceries? How you doing? Jesus Christ. All right, guys, I'm going to do two more questions. 2 more questions, and I'm gonna sign off for the night. 2 more questions. And guys, please make sure you tell everyone about my old account being hacked. Please report it. Report it, then block it. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your hamsters. See what I did there? 2 more questions. What do you guys got? I'm gonna answer the ones that my moderators pin up there. And thank you guys for all the new follows. I greatly appreciate you all. If you guys haven't followed yet and you like how I cover these cases, please consider following. Entirely up to you guys. Thank you. Someone could have helped her get away with the movie Traffic. Yeah. Michelle, do you think she's Jazz? It looks a lot like her. I will be 100% honest with you, Nancy. I think it looks so... What's up, Bye Fancy? It looks so much like her. I couldn't agree more. It definitely looks a lot like her. However, that Rebecca chick really threw me through a loop. If you guys don't know who Rebecca is, just Jen McCabe real quick. If you guys don't know what that is, Chicky Bean, Jen McCabe, it's a Karen Reed reference. Go Google it, look up Rebecca. But she throws me through a loop because she mentions that she knew Jazz from 95, 96. And that wouldn't be Amy, though, because Amy didn't go missing until 98. So that really threw me through. And I understand she probably looks like she's had a rough life, that woman, Rebecca. No disrespect to her. So it's hard for me to trust what she's saying. But it does look a lot like Amy. Let me end it with that. It does look a lot like Amy. Amy or Jenny Lynn, one more question after Jer here. Oh my God, it went away. I was going to answer Jeremy, and it went away. Jeremy, I'm sorry, man. It went away. One more question, guys. What you got? Okay, there it is. could have Amy been transferred to a different boat? Yes. I believe if she was transferred, I believe that she was transferred from boat to boat. Yes. Yep. Sue, you said, who is Rebecca? Rebecca is a girl that was interviewed on James Renner's platform. She looks like she was in the adult services industry. Let's leave it at that. Like a city worker. She looks like she's had a tough life, put it that way. And she said she knew Jazz from a while ago, back in 95, 96, but we believe Jazz to be Amy, but Amy didn't go missing until 1998. So it's hard for me to trust Rebecca as well, Barney. All right, final question. What about Brad's new interview about the FBI? So Green Eyed Girl, I actually brought that up. Thanks, Whitney. You're good, Cecilia. I actually brought that up in in the video that I just put out before this live. Go take a look at it. I'm in this black hoodie in that video, but I'll tell you now. What Brad is saying is 100% correct. The FBI is not going to release information. They absolutely will not release information to the family, regardless of it being 27 years, because the case is still open. They cannot release the info. If they do, it taints the investigation. It hinders and manipulates the investigation. They do not want to do that. You guys are probably also wondering, why is this still open? It's been 27 years. Because they don't have a body. That's why. They don't have a body. And the family declared her unalived, Mersey made. They declared her unalived back in like the early 2000s, 2002, 2003, something like that. But the FBI still doesn't have a body. Just because someone is declared unalive does not mean that the case is now closed. They still need a body or some concrete evidence to prove that she's no longer with us. So guys, that is it for me tonight. Please, 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 we're still growing the account, right? So please, whenever I post videos, if you don't mind, if it's not too much to ask, please repost, share the videos that I'm putting out there, comment, like them, go crazy, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your hamsters. That's a new thing everyone seems to like. We will be live tomorrow. I will put the live schedule on my story. You guys will see it on the story. So always check, put the little bell on, your little bell, the little notification bell. Put that little bell on so that, and your push notifications on as well. I will put it on my story probably within the next like 10 minutes. So you guys will see what time I'll be live tomorrow, okay? I appreciate all the new followers. You guys mean a lot to me. All the great questions. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. We will be live tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night, guys.